Hello, say good evening, Lozzie.
Evening, Strongman friends. How you all doing?
We hope you're all doing very, very well. Let's see who's in tonight. Lots of members I can see. We've got Andrew, Paris, Ken, Ronan. I've seen Fred already. There's Alex, Steady
Nicola.
State, Nicola, Randy. Good evening, all, and thank you so much for joining us.
Hope you're all well.
Yes. So first off then, I alluded to it in the title, so I better tick it off straight away before we get into comments. Oh, Loz has got the live stream up on his phone. World's Strongest Man news. So it's one of these things is something that I think if you're a fan going there in person, it's just going to be so much nicer for you. As someone who's stood and watched World's Strongest Man for many hours. So thing number one, so I spoke to someone from World's Strongest Man this week and they said we could talk about this. They've introduced risers to the arena area, which may not sound like much, but if you've ever stood there and if you're like me and you're not 6 foot tall, if you're not in the front row, you're not seeing anything. So we're going to have steeped risers for people so everyone has a good view this year.
That'd be good.
I think that's it's just a small thing, but for when you're there in person, it would make such a huge difference.
Well, for those of you that are regular to the channels, you'll have heard me bang on before about what it was like in the good old days.
In the olden
days at World's Strongest Man. And I've seen consistent improvements over the last few years.
Yeah.
Which is really nice to hear, nice to see. And I think the fan experience is going to start being really enjoyable at Worlds now.
Yes.
Whereas in the past, if you went when I was competing, it really wasn't a great fan experience. Now they are making sure it's a lot more enjoyable, a lot more fan friendly.
It wasn't a good wife experience, let alone the fan experience. It was even worse for the fans. So a couple of things are improving for the athletes and sort of friends and family. And they've got an all new tent this year for the athletes, which will be
top of the range
tent. No, it will be all self-contained for them. So they'll have screens so they can watch the action without having to go out there to see it. They'll have all their catering in there. It will be air conditioned. It's going to be like a proper home from home. And they'll also have a family and friends tent as well. So
I'm just laughing back to some of the conditions I may have.
You were in donkey poo one year, weren't you?
I don't think it was donkey poo. It was definitely, I think it was cow.
Elephant poo?
Could have been.
What country was it? Was it Botswana?
It was Botswana, actually.
It could have been elephant poo.
Me and JF sat next to each other. We were kind of laughing about it.
Yeah. Wasn't funny though, was it?
Well, I think you've got to laugh about these things.
You do have to laugh. Yeah.
But it's so good to see World's Strongest Man improving things.
Yes.
And apparently that's half to do with me banging on about stuff.
Yes, no, it is. Yeah, the complainers have been given credit.
Me and Brian, sure.
Yeah, you and Brian, yeah. I actually like to say. So, what was I going to say next? And one last thing. If you were one of the people who had planned to go on the Tuesday, obviously there was a slight date change in that they've made it the group stages are 2 days long now instead of 3 days. So there's no events on the Tuesday, the 18th of April. They are going to do a live event for you guys. I don't want to say exactly what it is until they confirm it, because if it changes, I'll feel awful and terribly guilty and it will all be my fault. But just keep an eye on World's Strongest Man's social media. And if you're not signed up to their newsletter, do that through the website to make sure you don't miss that. And that's not just for VIPs, as far as I can tell. It's for anyone who was planning on coming and watching on the Tuesday.
Check down the comments there as well. And we've got a short strongman in the house in Mr. Hixie, who is appreciating the risers.
Oh, yeah, get Hixie on the risers to cheer on his friends when he's in between. If you can't see the TV from
we hope you are doing well, buddy. Looks like you're training hard for Worlds.
Is Hixie doing Europe's? Are you doing Europe's?
I can't remember.
I can't remember now.
I think he is.
Yeah, I think he is as well. No,
he's definitely doing Worlds.
Yeah.
He's looking strong.
Yeah, there we go.
And he said, I don't know if you saw, Hixie.
He wants to do the powerlifting meet with Thor and Dumbbell. Hixie, find a way to get in there. That would be so good to see. Yes.
Hixie is a beast when it comes to powerlifting.
Hixie is a beast. Let's see what Ronan's saying. Group member here. Tom didn't do well at last year's Arnold's and still had a dominant World's Strongest Man win. Do you think he can pull it together in 5 weeks? See, I think last year and this year are quite different because he had just won Britain's and looked very good at Britain's last year, hadn't he? Gone to Arnold's, not looked good, but we knew he was in shape. It was strange, wasn't it? It was.
Yeah, I think last year the events at Arnold's just weren't that good for him.
No,
more than anything.
Yeah,
he looked really good at the Brits, like
a
few weeks before the Arnold's. This year, I don't think he's in as good a shape. Like his log pressing was solid at the Arnolds. He's got this hip issue, which is, I think, for me, that's the biggest concern with Tom. I think Tom can get strong fast. Tom can get sharp at events. But if there is something physically holding him back, I'm not sure 5 weeks is enough time.
Yeah,
that's my main concern. Looking at what I've seen of Tom, watching him compete and watching his training so far, I think because the events at Worlds are very solid for him. When you think of the events in the finals and the heats,
and realistically, it's only like 4 weeks of training and a deload, isn't it?
It's not a long amount. It's not a huge amount of time. So for me, if I was him, I'd be trying to get that hip sorted, getting all the treatment I can. And sometimes you just can't force these things; they just take time. So we'll have to wait and see. But I think he was in better shape last year at this time. This time
last year. No, I would agree with you. Yeah, but it's who knows? Like Tom always.
But obviously, he's had that break as well, whereas he hadn't had that break.
Yeah,
last year. So
yeah. Ken saying with the events in the final, shield carry, max dumbbell, especially the tiniest mistake could be worth huge points. I think that max dumbbell could like turn things on its head this year. It's going to be really interesting.
Who do you think wins that? Who do you guys think wins the max dumbbell?
Think
it's easy to say Novikov, as he's won it so often, but
Kilishkovsky is the record holder still, I believe, officially.
I think officially he is. I think Novikov has done more in the gym.
Probably. Yeah, he had a ridiculous one made. I think Novikov will win because I think Novikov has the confidence to go for it and really attack it. But I think Kilishkovsky is totally capable. I would expect them to be 1 and 2. I think Brian won't be far behind them. I think Trey will do very well. And if he can make the final, Evan Singleton, I expect to do well as well because he's over his shoulder issue now. And yeah, I'd expect him to do good. Yeah. What do you reckon?
Yeah, there's a lot of good dumbbell presses.
There is,
I don't think I've ever seen a dumbbell for max in a pro level show.
I've seen like ladders.
I've seen record attempts as individual lift attempts, but I don't think I've ever seen an actual dumbbell for max.
I'm not sure I have. We definitely haven't a World's Strongest Man. Guys,
correct us if we're wrong.
Yeah, let us know because you guys know just as much as us.
Evening, Nicola. Hope you're well.
Evening, Fred, as well. Good afternoon. Most of us in the US just jumped forward to daylight saving time. Oh, we go forward soon, and I cannot wait. I love the lighter evenings.
Yeah, it stays like really like till about 10 p.m. in the UK as well.
Yeah, about 10:30 p.m. and then it's getting bright again at 4 a.m. I love it. Who needs darkness and sleep anyway? I like the sunshine.
You don't have a lot of sleep anyway, do you?
No, it may as well be nice out. Guessing you had a great time in Columbus, Fred. Fred did have a great time in Columbus. Of course he did.
Yeah, the big smile on his face.
Fred now.
Yeah, Fred's getting spotted, isn't he?
Yeah, Fred's famous. He's YouTube famous. What have we got?
Everyone's saying hi to Fred. You got to love this.
I know, it's funny. Andrew, I missed Mitch's live stream, but it was good to watch later. Good to see Loz and Liz and all the usual folk in the chat, building a real community. And that's honestly, that's
what these are for, is like the strongman community, isn't it? We've got 500 people in here, so make sure you guys go and like the video, and if you're not already, subscribe to the channel.
Yes.
And then come and join our lovely strongman community.
Yes, please do. Who else just loves the new emojis? Oh, that's the moose one and Andrea disgust. Do you know what? I've still got that as my. Oh, hold on. Can I show you? Oh, I've got.
You can get rid of them.
You can't see. I've got notifications.
There you go.
Hold on. No, why won't they go away, Lazo?
I don't know. It's your phone.
There we go. I've still got Andrea as my screensaver. Because she's such an icon and I love her. Bless her. Oh, people flexing their Rauno emojis as well. All right, where are we? Mr. Fred, super chat. Thank you so much, Fred. So generous as always. Good morning, afternoon, evening. Hope all is well. What a great weekend meeting everyone and watching a fantastic show. Personally, I call Rebecca was the winner.
She did amazing.
Yeah, Rebecca did so well. It was so nice to see, wasn't it?
Yeah,
her do really well at the end of that timber carry.
It was nice to see. Like, there was a lot of negative comments online about the women, but the support actually in the venue,
in the arena, you would never
amazing.
know, would you? Because it was brilliant. The atmosphere was incredible. Yeah, it was such a good show. Yeah, it was an exhausting weekend though, wasn't it?
It was.
Poor Lozzie caught a cold. He caught a cold, not me.
Yeah, I got the cold this time.
Yes, that's good.
Yeah.
Although I caught it off him later.
Oh, Shaw in the Thor. Thor in the Shaw Classic 2024. Who knows? He's not said anything about wanting to do it. He's made it clear he wants to focus on the Arnolds and Rogue Invitational. So I'd be surprised if we saw him in the Shaw as well. But this year's Shaw Classic, the lineup's awesome.
Yeah, we did a video about it a couple of days. Yesterday? Did it go out yesterday? Yeah, it went out yesterday. Yeah. Who do you guys think will be the 15th athlete? 16th, sorry. We're absolutely convinced it would be Mateus. I was quite surprised to see people in the comments saying they thought it would be Thor because he hasn't indicated he would do strongman at all this year. But I think it's more wishful thinking than anything.
Hey, Tim, thank you very much for the super chat, buddy.
Hey there, everyone. Hope you're all having a good weekend. We are. Thank you,
Tim is training hard and doing very, very well, making good progress.
Where is Hixie? Oh, look, Unbreakable Promotions is here as well. Those are the guys that put on the Strongman Champions League in England.
They've got some good shows coming up. They've got a few shows coming up. So they've got the British Masters. If you haven't already got tickets for that, then make sure you come and see me compete. This is you just went past him.
Oh, I'm clicked on him here.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said, where's Hixie?
No.
Then they've got the England's qualifier. Or Britain's, England's qualifier, isn't it? And then the winner of the England's will go to Britain's or something like that.
Okay. I don't even know how it happens anymore.
There's been so many comps announced in the last week or so.
Yeah, we've put together this lovely thing with all the competition dates. Now it all needs to be redone because everything's been changed. Oh God. And OSG's been changed, hasn't it? It's not going to be in Daytona Beach. It's going to be in West Virginia.
West Virginia.
That's another.
That was where my first Worlds was.
That's another one for me to tick off the list.
You've not been there, have you?
I've not been there.
That was where my first World's Strongest Man was.
There you go. Fond memories.
Yeah, it was my first Worlds. I actually enjoyed it.
There you go.
It was like an excited, kind of half fan, half competitor.
The complainers.
I broke my toe.
Brian.
Oh yeah, we're like two old women, me and Brian.
Oh, where are we? Paris. Loved your podcast with Shaw and hope you do the powerlifting with Thor and Bell. Yeah, we'd love to see that as well.
If you haven't already as well, make sure you guys go and subscribe to Hixie's channel. He puts out his training on there and he's looking very strong.
Yes. If you do your members comment, unfortunately, it doesn't show
like the members shows.
Yeah, no, but once a month they get a special one that acts like a super chat, and that doesn't show through StreamYard. So, but Nicola's on the case with me. Yeah, there you go. Loz is on the case as well.
Paris has got one.
Oh, go on, read it out.
Loz, what do you think Hixie could total in powerlifting?
It's from Paris.
I personally think, and I'm not saying it because he's in the chat, I think if Hixie focused solely on powerlifting, he could break the world record. I really do. He's got no weak lift, which is a rarity in powerlifting. Thor has a weaker bench press. I have a weaker bench press. You know, you look at Jamal Browner. He's got an amazing deadlift. Squat is very good, but not like incredible. Bench press is not incredible.
Yeah.
Hixie really doesn't have a weakness. You look at, there's some like bench press specialists out there, but they can't squat or they can't deadlift. I think if he focused on it, he could be a contender to. It wouldn't surprise me to see Hixie beating the absolute best. I mean, he totaled 1,100 kilos in his first ever powerlifting comp, which is incredible. And if anything, he probably underperformed slightly on what he's capable of. So, you know, at least more than 1,100. But I think if he really focused on it, he could be a contender. I'd have more faith in Hixie doing the total record than Thor. If Thor isn't willing to do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Like if Thor, I said this, I think I said it to you or someone. I might have said
almost definitely me. Sounds like something.
Thor has said he wants to kind of stay relatively fit and healthy and not let his body weight get too high. I think if that's the case, I don't see Thor breaking the world record.
He's since said he'll do what it takes.
In that case, he's got a chance.
Yeah.
You think Thor, if he commits 100%,
yeah,
I would never say he's not capable of, because he's one of those athletes just super talented, and not just super talented, super driven as well. So Thor will commit to the training or commit to the eating or do whatever it takes to be the absolute best. And we've seen it so many times. But if he's going to hold himself back, I don't feel it's possible.
No.
And that's, if he's deciding I'm just going to commit to this 100%, then yeah, it's doable.
Really quickly though, bringing it back to Graham, do you think that he was better built to be a powerlifter than a strongman?
Absolutely.
Yeah, sorry, Graham. You missed your calling.
He's an amazing strongman.
Strongman's so much more fun as well.
Yeah, but
way more fun.
Hixie is just, he's an incredible powerlifter.
Who makes the final predictions? Honestly, until the groups are revealed, it's so hard. And they're not likely to be revealed until a day or two before when everyone starts.
Sorry.
Go on.
Mr. Rauno Heinla is in the house and he is correcting us.
Oh, for goodness sake.
2018 in Australia, Arnold's, they had a max dumbbell.
There you go. He'd know. Do you know what? Rauno's surprisingly knowledgeable.
What do you mean surprisingly? You're so offensive to your friends.
Only to
and
Rauno,
your husband.
And you and Andrea and everyone I
pretty much everyone.
That's how people know I'm fond of them. I tease. But back to your question, Erica. Yeah. I think the thing is, you could say 10 names who you think are likely to be in the final, but if 3 of those end up in the same group, then we're all screwed. So it's really hard to say. Really hard.
I think there'll be a couple of surprises, but I think we'll definitely see Brian Shaw in the final. I think we'll definitely see Trey Mitchell in the final. I think we'll definitely see Mitch Hooper in the final. I think we'll definitely see Tom Stoltman in the final as Stones. Like, even if he's third in his group, he's so good at Stones.
I'd say Alexi normally, but he's been 4 times and only made the final
someone
twice.
That, because Stones are they're not a weakness, but at that level they're a slight weakness. They're not like a guarantee for him. So Alexi, I'd expect to be in the final, but you just never know.
Mateus, you'd expect to be in the final.
Yeah.
Rauno, obviously.
Rauno, like, depends on the group.
Rauno's got a couple of really good events in the group, and I think a stone off would be so much better for him than a stone run. Who knows? What a day that would be for strongman fans.
I love Rauno.
Team Liz.
If he made the final, I'd be over the moon. But he's not going to go to Worlds as one of the favourites to be winning the title.
No, he suits being an underdog, Lozzie. That's why.
So many people.
Marianne, thank you for the super chat. This close, which athletes are favourites now?
For Worlds?
Yeah.
For Worlds, it has to be, like, in no particular order. Mitch Hooper, Brian Shaw, Tom, if he can get himself in shape,
Trey.
Kiliaskowski, Trey Mitchell, and Novikov.
Alexei.
That would be my favorites on paper, and I honestly think, like, there's no real heavy favorite.
No, you'd be surprised if it wasn't one of those 6, though. Probably
I would be surprised if it wasn't one of those 6, but it's going to be we were saying before we went on it, this year I think is going to be a very competitive World's Strongest Man. Close. I don't think there's any obvious winner, and I think it could be really exciting because of that.
I can't wait. And our Meet the Athletes series is starting this week as well. But we're taking it at a steadier pace, no 3 a day. Last time it was like 10 days before we started it. So this time it's going to be 1 a day.
Who are you starting with?
I don't know. I'll start with someone big. I need to start with the safest people first, because I can't do anyone that might be competing. Like anyone who's at Europe, so I probably will wait until after Europe. So yeah. Alex, thank you for the super chat. Thanks for all the great content last weekend. When are we going to see some PR training for Mitch Hooper? Acceptance speech was awfully disrespectful. I am doing PR training with Mitch Hooper as we speak. Loz may be his coach, but I'm his life coach. Mitch is, do you know what's really odd about Mitch? I remember last year, the first time we met him in person at the Strongman Classic, and afterwards they have to go to the VVIP meet and greet. And I'd said to him, like, I'd make a YouTube video for him while he was there. And he was like, oh, that's great. Thank you so much. And so I went up and I filmed him. And when he came away, he was just so red. He was almost purple. I was like, God, are you okay? Was it really hot in there or something? And he was like, oh, I can't, I hate public speaking. I really struggle with public speaking. I was like, really? I thought he was taking the mick out of me, but he does. And he says some stupid things sometimes. I think he's just got a bit of foot and mouth syndrome. He did go on to elaborate on it and explain himself, and it made perfect sense. But yeah, I think it's just, I mean, I'm a fine one to talk. Some of the silly things I say. Very offensive. Very offensive. So yeah, we're working on him together. We're working on it together.
So a lot of people saying Mitch is good at dumbbell, Novikov,
Mitch
Mateus.
will be up there too.
Brian is very good at dumbbell. I think Brian's best overhead is dumbbell.
Oh yeah, I would say so. Yeah. Yeah, his log was really good at one point, but it's just one of those things, isn't it? You know, the other guys get better, and yes, early alert, you've been corrected by lots of people.
Yeah,
that's good though. That's why we invite you guys in to tell us
it's
stuff.
all good. Yeah. We don't know everything.
No,
I accept that. Liz doesn't, but you know.
Yeah, there's Rauno. Look, he's a member now. So because someone gifted him a membership. Oh, look, everyone's excited to see Papa Rauno
always
in the
happy
comments.
To see Rauno.
He sits, I imagine, in front of his absolutely humongous TV and then just texts on the phone. Can you picture it? Yeah. Frowning. Fucking idiots.
Dumbbell was in 2018 Arnold. You should know this.
Yeah. He was there though, so it's a bit different.
Yes.
Where are we?
All the Rauno fans, Alexi. Novikov. I'm looking forward to seeing Novikov at Europe's.
Yeah, I am too. I
really am.
He put out a video either yesterday or today. Have you seen it?
No.
Yeah. The look is starting to grow on me a bit more now. The bald head and the moustache. Yeah. It didn't like it at first.
You don't like change, do you?
I don't like change, no. The ladies did great at the Arnolds. They did indeed. I still hope Evan gets on the Loz train. Oh, I don't know about that, Christine. Choo choo. Yes. Evan's an individual, isn't he? I don't know that he can be contained.
I've said many times, I think Evan's awesome.
Evan is brilliant.
Awesome, and you know, I hope he has a good year this year.
I've tried reporting everyone on. Oops. God, nearly put Nicola in timeout. Whoops, sorry, Nicola. No, that would be a disaster. Yeah. Tried reporting everyone on the live chat or at the phone screen. Yeah, I mean, we spoke to them about it and we said you really need some moderators. And like we used you as an example, Nicola, as obviously you moderate for us. And I said, I am certain there are fans who will be happy to do it while they're there anyway, enjoying the stream.
Yeah.
Scotty Lace, thank you for the super chat. Well done on your success as a coach at the Arnolds. Do you think having a strongman background gives you a clear edge over some other coaches that have never competed?
In some areas, yes. I have a big advantage in that I understand how all these major pro shows are run, probably better than anyone, other than like maybe Brian Shaw and a couple of others.
Yeah.
But I have great contacts with all the promoters as well. And, the fact that I've competed at the Arnolds, I've competed at World's Strongest Man, Giants Lives, all these different big shows. I understand timings that happen before, like backstage. I understand what kind of realistically people are capable of on different bits of kit. If it's a bit of kit that I've used physically myself before, my understanding of that movement is going to be much greater than someone that's never used it. Because if you try strongman, if you use your own kit, you have a big advantage. So just things that I've tried before. A good example, like I've said, I'll say this kind of openly, Coach Mitch Hooper, it doesn't matter who coaches Mitch Hooper, he's going to be a great strongman. You coach Tom Stoltman, it doesn't matter who coaches him, he's going to be a great strongman. There's some great athletes out there that it really doesn't matter who coaches them. They're always going to be good. But there's little things that I've been able to help with Mitch.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of more proud of some of the, not that I'm not proud of Mitch, I'm super proud of him, but he's so talented. It's like, it's almost expected that he does well.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm more proud sometimes when, Bobby Thompson's on the podium at Arnold or Andrea or something like that. Because as much as we know what Mitch is like backstage, people just see him as like this machine now. And he's got this pressure on himself that he's got to constantly win. And Tom Stoltman's in that position. If he doesn't win worlds, people are going to say, oh, he's not very good, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, of course.
That's what happens when you're that good. So, yeah, there's an advantage I think I have, just understanding and being in that position. But even at a lower level, I've got clients that are scared to compete because they don't want to come last. And I can just say, look, I've come last before, I've come first, and I've come everywhere between. And you've just got to learn from those experiences. And as long as you're moving forward and trying to learn, then I think you're doing fine. And as a coach, I try and keep learning as well. So it's a continuing evolution. But yeah, certain situations, I think having that actual experience makes a big difference.
Careful if you hear banjos in West Virginia. Clint, you're going to have to elaborate on that, please. Why? What does it mean? Alice, thank you for the super chat. As what feels like a breakthrough year at the Arnold's for Strongwoman, it would be awesome to have a female commentator among the ranks. Liz, you would be perfect with your predictions and stats. You're very kind. Thank you, Alice. But like I was just saying, I say some stupid things, and I think I would give Rogue a heart attack because they're listening all the time, like the owners, Katie and Bill, they've got this headset on. They listen to everything all the time, don't they? Because they're so professional, they want it to be a really...
They want a non-biased, perfect show going out, and that's what's expected. And I try and do my best job that I can do in that situation. Liz is too emotional for that. You are.
I am.
You're like,
I'm too excitable as well.
You're far too emotional for that kind of position.
True, though. It is true. I don't think I'd be a good commentator. Not good enough for Rogue.
But I think we'll get to the point where, there are, maybe we'll see someone like the former athletes or athletes that are competing now will go into that role as well. And this is a great thing with the sport growing.
Yeah.
It's giving more opportunities for, more people to do things in the sport once they're finished with their career.
Exactly.
I never thought I would be in this position post competing.
No, you
I'd be able to go around the world, commentate at these different shows, watch these amazing athletes, and the sport grow so much. So it's getting better for all of us.
Where are we? Oh, Leighton, thank you very much for the super chat. Loz, I see you spoke with Mark Henry at the Arnolds. How is he doing? And did you ask him about coming on Talking Strongman at some point?
I didn't ask him about coming on Talking Strongman, but I did have a little chat with him. You had more of a chat with him than me, I think.
I did.
Yeah. Did you ask him about coming on?
No, I didn't. I was too shy.
But no, it was really nice to meet Mark. He's obviously a legend from wrestling, but the first ever winner of the Arnold Classic.
Just a really cool, laid-back guy as well.
Do you know what? Like, talking to Jan Todd and things, it was amazing listening to the story of Mark Henry.
Yeah, definitely.
Really interesting. And amazing to see him have done so well.
Yeah. Possible pilot deviation. Thank you for the super chat. I've been dating a girl for 4 months. Last night we were talking about exercising and strength, and she suddenly brought up strongman and how cool she thought it was. I almost proposed right there and then.
You should
be cool. No, be cool. But that's great. Yeah, lovely.
This is good.
Yeah. That's really nice. Like, you had to take me into your school of strongman, didn't you? Get out all the DVDs and everything.
That was it. Yeah, we met and I invited Liz over and I put Strongman on. That was our first date.
It was not. I would have gone. Fred has posted a members comment. Can you see if you can find it, Loz? Find Fred's members comment. Loz is on the case, Nicola. Thank you very much. Might have been a little while ago now. Where are we? Liz, Ken has also. Loz is on the case. Sorry, guys, they don't always show up here. There you go. Look, Rauno saying he will be in the final this year. Rauno is confident, and that's not normal. So he must be in good shape if he's confident. So it's good. Look forward to seeing him at Europe's Strongest Man also.
It won't let me go back far enough, so you'll have to find it.
Oh, will it not? Oh, Unbreakable Promotions. Yeah. Those are the competitions they've got going on this year.
Lots of competitions.
Oh, Fred and Rauno, not Rauno. Fred and I think it was Ken, if you can do them in capital letters so they stand out a little bit. I'm guessing this is Marianne's one. Rebecca with a few form tweaks could dominate. I'm excited about her.
Well, she's already doing so amazing. She won World's Strongest Woman a few years ago.
Yeah, she did, 2021, that. Yeah.
She's doing very well.
Yeah, she's very good. She had a bit of an off year last year at Worlds in 2022, but, she genuinely is one of the best. She's working with Paul Smith now as well. There are form tweaks needed, like the log in particular, I think, but, God, she's built for it, isn't she? Yeah. She's
powerful.
Yeah.
Really powerful.
Like, she's perfect for strongman events because she's just so tall and 6'4", isn't she? Is she 6'4"?
I don't think she's quite that.
6'3", 6'4". Yeah. She's very, very tall.
Yeah, she is.
Novi is looking huge. Guy is going to be scary.
Yeah, I'm interested. Like, the fact that he's had this break interests me.
Yeah, because we've never seen arrested Novikov, have we?
No. I think he's going to be in good shape.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing Pavlo Kordiaka as well. His training looks like it's going really well.
Yeah, we haven't seen him.
He's a dangerous guy. You know, he's someone that if I was at Worlds, I wouldn't want him in my group.
No, God, no, not
because
someone like him.
Probably not going to be like one of the top guys in a group.
No, he won't be one of the top seeds, but he's a nightmare because he's such a good athlete.
Yeah.
And he's got no quit in him either. Visit Hull says, thank you for the super chat. He's a disgusted kettlebell as a football.
Yeah, you don't want to be using a kettlebell.
Oh, disguised kettlebell as a football hurt my foot. Sorry, sorry, I got to let the cat out. She's glaring at me.
Disguised football. Oh yeah, kettlebells. You don't want to be kicking kettlebells. Trust me, that's something you want to try and avoid. Rauno on the couch.
Sorry, I got to let her out in case she poops.
Yeah, she'll do that. Thomas has sent a super chat.
But where's the text?
Let's see if we can find it.
It would be under, not over.
Okay.
Just keep an eye out for Thomas. There he is, Thomas. There you go. Thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, Loz and Liz, love your content. In terms of deadlifting rules, the competitors are allowed strap suits, hitching, clutching, etc., but not a sumo stance. Why is sumo not allowed in strongman, Loz?
I think the real reason is it's a different lift. So, you know, I appreciate sumo lifters saying why they're allowed to use suit straps because that's all helping. But really, a sumo deadlift is a different lift. And I think it's as simple as that. You know,
plus, if you think of all the elevated deadlifts they do, you chuck a sumo into that as well. Suddenly, they're locked out and it's barely left the ground.
Yeah, like I have no problem with sumo lifts, but I kind of have a problem with the two together. I think they should be separated. If I'm totally honest, it's, you know, it's a very much a different movement. If you look at the positioning of Jamal Browner, let's take as a good example. You watch him lift conventionally. He's a great conventional deadlift. He's an amazing sumo deadlifter, like ridiculously good. But his positioning changes. So on his sumo deadlift, his back position is like this. On his conventional deadlift, his positioning is more like this. So essentially, he's just having to like drive with the legs and then the hips pop through.
Yeah.
And it's a much stronger position for him. Now, that's not to say that position is going to help everyone because everyone's built differently. But for Jamal in that position, he's extremely strong. He's obviously extremely strong anyway. But they are really two different movements. It's like a squat and a half squat.
Yeah.
You know, to me, it's like a strict press and a push press. You know, they're two different exercises, even though it's still to finish the bar in the same position.
And they're both allowed in strongman, strict press and
push
press. But there you go. Vegan Power Dude, thank you for the super chat. Hi, I'd love to see more representation from Africa, Asia, and South America. Do you know of any plans for new competition exposure in those areas?
I know in Africa, they're doing quite a lot to try and grow the sport. There's a lot of stuff going on in South Africa. Asia, I'm not so sure about. There is, before COVID, I was supposed to go over to Asia to do some seminars, and unfortunately that all got cancelled.
Yeah.
I know in places like Thailand and those kind of countries that it's becoming more popular. Not so sure about like China and you know, the bigger countries.
What's a real shame is that we lost like the Arnold World Series, which used to be in those countries, Africa and South America. So hopefully, like, I don't know of anything personally, but that's not to say that other people aren't planning things. We don't know everything, do we, Lozo?
No, we don't. I don't. That's for sure.
So, look who's here, Rongo King. God bless you.
Hey, Rongo. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Thank you very much.
Hello, my amazing friends. Hope everyone. Oh, hello, everyone. Hope you're all well. Thank you so much, Rongo. He's just had a week at home on his own with the kids while his wife was away working. So he's probably very, very pleased she's home now.
I love that video he sent you the other day.
Oh, my goodness. He's like having a little chat with Rongo, and suddenly I get a video, and it's him and his three kids. Yeah, and they're all in the car going, "Hi, Auntie Liz," and like his children are just like him.
Just seen he's got an emoji.
Yes, there's an emoji of you, Rongo. But if you want to use it, you have to become a member. Sorry. Liz After Dark, X-rated. I don't know about that, Jane. Never done anything like that, have I, Lozzie? Lozzie?
No.
No. Watch the movie Deliverance, says Clint. Okay, I will. That's referring to the banjos.
So Brian, one of our members, has asked a question.
Okay.
Auntie and Uncle's positive impact keeps growing. That's what Nicola told me to read out, I think.
Thank you very much,
Brian.
Brian. There you go. Loz is on the case now. People excited to see Rongo. So we've got Graham, Rauno, and Rongo. And I think Asko Caro's in here somewhere as well.
We've got a strong audience here.
We do have a strong audience.
Yeah.
Here we go. Fun fact. Hooper is the first strongman to win a major show without a single event win. Only one who got close ever was Licis. Yeah, and I think that would have been 2012, probably. What? 2012? Was he close to winning without winning an event?
He didn't win.
No, I know, but he got close.
No, what about when he won the Arnolds?
There was only 4 events that year.
Yeah.
That was a weird year, wasn't it? So, but yeah, it just goes to show everything that we both bleat on about, really, don't we? Consistency is key. But it's interesting because then I saw people throwing up the argument for, is there something wrong with the scoring system in Strongman? Should people get extra points for event wins? But I don't think there's anything wrong. The only thing I don't like about scoring in Strongman is when there's a tie at the top. I don't like the last event rule because it's nearly always stones. I would prefer to see a tiebreaker event or worst case scenario count back because I think it's a bit fairer. What do you think, Lozzie?
I don't like the stones being so heavily favored.
No.
Because it just, you think of all the great athletes out there that all have different strengths. Let's say, right, no longer stones is the last event. It's super yoke.
Yeah.
Mitch Hooper has a big advantage suddenly.
Yeah.
Right now, Tom Stoltman's got a big advantage. You change it to, I don't know, deadlift, and Pavlo's got a big advantage. It's just...
It's fine to use the last event rule if the last event changes, but
when
doesn't,
it's always the same.
Yeah, then it does just favour certain athletes, and we don't really like it. Especially since Loz was...
I'm sure Hixie would like it if they made log the last event.
Yeah, exactly.
Mark Felix if they made Hercules hold the last event. It suddenly changes things because you can take your foot off the gas and know that you've got that security of that one event still to come.
Yeah. Erin saying she really hopes Gabby Dixon will be in the main show at the Arnolds next year.
A good addition for sure.
Yeah, and she did the right thing. She came to the Record Breakers, won 2 events. There's a very strong chance she gets invited back next year in the main competition. And that's what people have to do. You have to go out of your way and put yourself in front of the people that would be deciding on it. And of course, Roga there, Jan's there, all the right people are there. Hi, Nala. Wouldn't be alive without her being mentioned. Yeah, Nala's always around somewhere. Bless her. Flo's talking about sumo. I expect to see Pa in here somewhere. Pa with sumo?
No, Pa hates sumo, doesn't he?
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, here we go. Let's pop this one up there.
I hope all the fans will be booking to go to the new Giants Live show in Doncaster to support the women athletes. Yes, Giants Live are hosting Britain's Strongest Woman this year.
30th of September, is it?
Something like that. That also needs to be added to our little thing that we typically.
Yeah, we made a list of all the comps, and then suddenly there's 10 been added.
Yeah, 10 more got chucked in. We're like, hold on a minute. It's already out of date.
Yeah. There we go. What do we think of this question?
Loz, should tights be allowed in the deadlift? I like Rob Kearney, but his spandex tights make it easier for him to hitch.
Yes, they do. And it's a good question. Should they be allowed? Personally, no, I don't think they should be allowed. But I don't think suits should be allowed in strongman either. I'm very
a lot more out of a suit, don't you?
Yeah, I'm very much. I like to see as raw as possible lifting. So I'm doing a powerlifting comp, and actually, I like to see it deadlifts on a stiff bar with no straps, and I'm just a sick old man that likes to see that kind of pureness. But if it's allowed, then use it.
Yeah,
it all comes down to the rules.
To oil up his legs.
Yeah, that was they banned baby oil after Marius. But yeah, of course, the tights are going to create less friction on your legs, so it's going to move smoother up the legs. It all comes down to what the rules are. If you can get away with it, then you'd be stupid not to do it. But as a purist, I would rather see it as raw as possible.
Frederick, thank you so much for the super chat. Loz, what would you suggest for about sleeves and such? Buying a weight set to take on the road with me, and I've never seen this. How did you get the nickname? What haven't you seen? How did you get the nickname? What Look how confused Loz is.
Sorry, Fred. I'm just trying to read that again. I'm a bit slow. Sorry.
For belt, sleeves, and such, Rauno waits to take on the road with me, and I have never seen this. How did you get the nickname?
The nickname Big Loz, Uncle Loz, or the Warrior?
The Warrior is because he kept coming back.
Yeah, I didn't give it to myself. Just I think Neil Pickup started calling me the Warrior.
I think it was Neil Pickup as well. Yeah.
Uncle Loz, I just called myself Uncle Loz because I was getting older and was giving lots of people advice.
Yeah, rather than competing.
And then forced Liz to be Auntie Liz. And Big Loz was just because I was Loz and I was big.
None of it's very imaginative.
Nothing too kind of like clever going on here.
No, not much thought going into it. What would you suggest?
Belts, etc. I have a couple of different belts, but my favorite one for traveling and going anywhere and being able to use on any different lifts is my Cerberus 10mm single prong belt. I find it quite versatile and I can use it for any event. That's not to say like there's certain belts that are better for certain types of lifts, but I find that one is really good regardless of what I'm doing. So if I'm traveling, it's the belt I'd go to. And you can head over to Cerberus and use my code Warrior and get yourself a discount.
There you go.
And if you want any more information on that, just ping me a message and I'll send you a bit more info privately. Yeah. But thank you very much, Fred.
Jamie's saying there, was Mateus happy with his Arnold's performance? It could be hard to tell how much is disappointment. I think he was relieved.
I think he was happy to get through the competition.
Yeah.
Knowing how competitive he is and what he expects of himself, he knows he can do better. Like even the events he won, he wasn't that happy with, because if you look at what he's done in the past, he has done better on those events. So I wouldn't say he was like overly happy, but I think he was relieved and pleased to have got through a competition, hit a podium, and hopefully that confidence is going to build for him.
Yeah, Bron Chopped asking if we watched the Brian podcast with Hixie. We haven't watched anything this week. It's been so frantic getting caught up after the Arnold.
Been a busy week, just work-wise. I haven't had a chance to watch anything yet.
No, we haven't enjoyed anything, have we?
We haven't even been able to watch the new Luther yet, have we?
No, which Loz has been very excited about watching. If you're not from the UK, you probably don't have a clue what we're talking about. Brad Wilson, thank you so much for the super chat. Were you surprised that no one got £1,000 deadlift, even with using briefs? Crazy to think 1,000 used to be done by Shaw, Pritchett, Thor, Caron, and Eddie.
I wasn't that surprised because the Wheel of Pain was first. And if you look back at the years that the Wheel of Pain was first, the numbers were down. However, the women lifted more than I expected. So, yeah, it's it's certainly not the standard that we've seen in the past. I think we're in a...
The order of events does make a difference.
That does make a difference. But I think if he got things right and traveling wasn't such an issue for him, I think Pavlo would have pulled over 1,000.
Yeah.
I think Rauno could have pulled over 1,000. So we've got guys out there that can. Just depends if they're in the competition or not. But I wasn't surprised, no. I knew it was... You've got a lot of good deadlifters there, but there was no one that's been at that kind of level of say, those guys.
I think we said in our prediction 440 to 450 would probably be enough to win.
The other thing with this bar is those guys that have all pulled £1,000 never pulled it the first time that they tried on this bar.
Yeah, we've got a lot of new guys on this bar now, haven't we? Yeah. There you go. Pal loves weed and potatoes.
He probably does.
Loves a sick old man who likes it raw.
See, we say some stupid stuff and then people roll with it.
All right, moving on quickly. What's that, Jorian? Thank you so much for the super chat. Thanks for the great content. Do you guys think Mateus will get more confident in his lats and triceps by World's Strongest Man? I feel this really held him back at Arnold Strongman Classic. Looking forward to his dumbbell at Worlds as well. Maybe we see a new record.
I'm excited to see this dumbbell for Max.
Yes.
I think, the level of athletes that we've got in this competition, 125 kilos, 130 kilos might not be much.
No,
at this level, it's if you look back at last year and we saw what they did on the behind the neck jerk, behind the neck press, way you want to look at it, there were some huge numbers lifted. So,
what do you think the jumps were like? They can't be huge jumps. Do you think 5 kilos? Do you think
starting
at like 110, jumping up 5 a time?
No, I think it'd be bigger jumps than that.
Do you?
Yeah, maybe 5 kilo jumps at that. No, it's not enough because there's so
Maybe
many of them that are capable of 120 at least. 125, 130.
I thought maybe just in the interest of splitting them off a bit more and not having so many ties.
I don't think the jump. I think as it gets heavier, you might see smaller jumps.
Yeah.
But I don't think it'll be that small.
Do you think there'll be a lot of ties?
It depends. It depends what the jumps are. Like it's so hard to say without seeing what they're going to do.
Yeah.
But you know, what weight do you start? You're gonna have to start over 100 kilos.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I think it would be more likely to go up in 10s to start with. Or I'd quite like to see it done with picking the numbers as well. But obviously that's a lot more technical.
Yeah.
But I think for Worlds it's doable because you know it's a TV show, so they can put together this. They can speed it all up.
Yeah. They can sort all that out in the editing, can't they?
Yeah. But
we'll see.
No, I think they'll probably just go up in like 10 kilo jumps to start with, particularly. I think it'll be like 100, 110, 120, 130. Then it might go 5 kilo jumps.
And we would like to think that Mateus will feel a lot more confident by Worlds.
Knowing what the referees at Worlds are like and the organisers, they'll base it on how many people are still in. If like they've done 3 rounds and there's still everyone
about the dumbbell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
So like if everyone keeps doing it, they're going to think, okay, we need to keep jumping up big. Whereas if people start falling out, they'll bring the jumps down a bit.
But yeah, back to Mateus. We would like to think he'd be more confident, wouldn't we? Because obviously he'd had 17 months where he didn't compete.
Let's remember, he still pressed 195 kilo log.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
it's not bad. He's done better in the past on that log, but I don't think he's too far away from where he wants to be. He's certainly got himself into a good position. He's got through that comp, and who's to say he can't have, like, you know, if they did it by Worlds, maybe it's 2 or 3 reps on that log.
Yeah,
he's definitely looking strong.
El Prez Cat, thank you for the super chat. Make a sumo off as the last event for qualifiers. Sumo deadlift or sumo wrestling? I would prefer the wrestling.
They've done sumo wrestling at Worlds before.
Oh, I know. I'd never get the image of Kaz's ass and a thong out of my head. Let's do sumo wrestling. Paul, thank you for the super chat. Sorry if anyone asked already, but any plans on attending this year's Shore Classic?
Nothing confirmed at the moment, but we are going to be talking to Brian after World's Strongest Man about the Shore Classic on the channel and help him promote it a little bit.
Yeah. Every strongman is nicknamed Big Something. That's because Loz inspired them. It didn't used to be. Well, we've got Wide now.
Yeah, big and wide and handsome.
Yeah, handsome Pavlo.
I'm all 3.
You're all 3. Big, wide, and Rick's done a super chat, but I cannot see it anywhere. Rick, I will keep an eye out.
We will find it.
That Wheel of Pain looked like it really took a lot out of the athletes, said Nicola. Yeah, I think like the women seem to recover well, don't they, Lozo?
Yeah, the women's. I say this though, I think women cope with lactic acid better than men.
Yeah, that's true. And
I don't know if that's scientifically proven. It just seems to be from coaching women. Yeah. They seem to recover quicker than the men.
And that was the case at WSM in 2021, which was just one of the fastest competitions I've ever seen.
Who was it?
It was Rick Lovine. Yeah. Bronchop saying on Brian's podcast, Hixie said he may go for the all-time world record against Dan and Thor in December. He said he thinks he could do 300 bench, 420 deadlift, and 465 squat. Hixie's here in the chat. Yeah, we believe him as well. Yeah, I think if any strongman could just step in and do it, I'd probably put my money on Hixie. Bobby, what's Bobby's bench like?
Bobby focuses more on overhead, but he could be a very good bencher.
Yeah. Oh, look, Jiminy Crickets is in the gang as well. Fred, I spent about 3 months on the road, and Loz was actually able to set me up with a program that was not only able to not lose strength, but we were actually added strength. There you go.
Thank you, Mike.
What a good coach he is. Oh, Jerry Pritchett threw some subtle shade about the low totals by posting his lifts.
Even on the commentary, he kind of was flexing a little bit, going on about his opening numbers, but he was amazing at that deadlift. You know, Jerry's one of the best deadlifters we've ever had in the sport.
Yeah,
let's remember that.
Do you remember? Was it 2020 Shore Classic? Him and Jerry. Oh, that was so exciting. Him and JF. Sorry, he is Jerry. Yeah. That was so good. So I got excited. Nathan, thank you for the super chat. Would have loved to see Andrea and Victoria battle it out on the elephant bar.
Yes,
it would have been nice to see. You know, last man standing or whatever we call it, when it's just keep going, because those two were the last two left on the Hummer tire deadlift last year, and yeah, they would have been the last two left, because I mean there was a lot of talk about Tamara Walcott's lockout. I didn't see it, annoyingly, from where I was stood.
There's always questions.
I know the second one that she wasn't given, I was glad she wasn't given it.
Let's remember she went there without straps. That was.
And some people were saying that was arrogant. Do you agree?
No, it wasn't arrogant. Not at all. This is something that, and I mean this with the most respect, but unless you've lifted with and without straps, you don't understand the difference. And for a lot of powerlifters, if you put them in straps and they haven't had time to really learn how to use them, it can feel weaker. You can't, you can, like, even for myself, who's pretty kind of used to using both, I need a couple of weeks adjusting. So when I've kind of focused on strongman, let your cat in.
Sorry, she's crying.
When I've had a few weeks focusing on strongman, where I'm using straps and going double overhand, it takes me about 3 weeks to kind of really adapt back to a reverse grip for powerlifting. And I've spoken to Andy Bolton about this. Like, Andy Bolton, one of the best powerlifting deadlifters of all time. He finds with straps, it stops him getting as much power as he normally can, and he can't quite get as tight in his upper back. So if you're used to lifting a certain way, as she would be as a powerlifter, then switching to the straps just feels alien. So she needs to kind of spend a little bit of time really focusing on using them and learning to get the most out of them, and then it will be an advantage. But it wasn't arrogance. It's just lack of experience more than anything.
Right. Cat's been fed. Sorry. There was a good question somewhere. Oh, first off, is Europe's events announced? Yes, they have been announced by Giants Live, and they've got a loading race into a wheelbarrow. They've got a log medley. There's a deadlift for reps. It's not an axle deadlift this time.
No, it's just a normal deadlift.
It's a normal deadlift.
Yeah.
What else have they got? They've got the stone run and Conan's, yeah. I think that's everything. Yeah.
Be interesting as well, because a lot of similar events to Worlds.
Yes.
So be interesting to see how people are doing.
What sort of shape people are in, definitely. Trey's the only strong man with a nickname Thicket. Loz didn't realise that we called him the Big Thicket. He's like, the big what? That's like, it means woodland in Texas.
I know, but it's a new nickname for him.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I've been calling him it for a while. Rick, finally, your super chat came through. Why isn't Martin's Licis in the Shore Classic?
Martin's Licis is having the whole year off.
Oops.
So, like, he announced he's having the whole year off this year. So he's not doing any competitions. He's not doing Worlds. He wasn't at the Arnolds. He's not doing the Shore. I don't believe he's doing Rogue either.
No. And to be fair, he's only done Rogue, which has the biggest prize money, Arnold's, which is something he competed at quite a few times and really wanted to win, and Worlds, which he had won before and really wanted to win again. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a balancing thing, isn't it? For someone who doesn't think he has many competitions left in him, I guess he's got the luxury of picking and choosing. But we'd all love to see him there and have all the best guys. Ron Chop, Loz underselling his coaching, having 3 on the podium, including a win, is extremely impressive.
Thank you very much, Ron Chop.
It was so funny watching the comments like at the end of the deadlift, and it's like, oh, Loz is the deadlift whisperer and stuff.
I saw a lot of people giving me and my clients shit for
using a squat bar in deadlift training.
I'll tell you why I did it for those interested. I saw a lot of people training for the elephant bar, treating it like it was a Hummer tire deadlift, which is quite flexible. When you actually look at the elephant bar, it doesn't flex as much as people think, but it does have, as it gets heavier, quite a lot of kind of whip into it where it pulls you back and forward. And I was trying to make sure that the athletes were really getting strong at breaking the weight off the floor smoothly. So rather than trying to yank at the bar, we're trying to drive hard with the legs and then pull more with the back. And if you look at the best lifters in the past on this, they have very, very strong power off the floor while maintaining hip position.
Yeah.
A lot of people, when they drive hard off the floor, their hips shoot up. If you use a real flexible bar, like I saw a couple of guys putting like the extensions onto bars, and if you watch how much that bar flexes then when the weight is so far out, because on the elephant bar, the weight is still there. Yeah. It's not like as far out as people think. And you have to kind of stay strong in that middle phase of the lift. And, you know, all 3 did really well on the deadlift. So we did something right, which is nice to see.
Definitely. Nicola asking, do you think Trey can overcome his grip issues? He says he has nerve damage from a car accident. I think it will stop him winning some major titles.
I think Trey can improve his grip. I was talking to him a little bit about how he trains it. And there's a couple of things I think he can do to help. I'm not sure he's ever going to be a Mark Felix, but I believe he can go from 10th place to sort of 6th, 5th place,
which could be enough if you're good enough at everything else.
Someone good to look at is Thor. Thor's grip used to be a weakness, worked in it and got better. And there's things that I think Trey can do better with his grip training to help improve it.
Bloody cat's crying again.
Your
what on earth?
Cat is a pain.
I know. I might have to sit her on my lap to calm her.
Go and get her.
You read that. I'll get the cat.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Lawrence, did you ever think you would have 3 podiums from your athletes? And is it exciting to see how far Mitch Hooper will go in his career? Yeah, look, I was super proud of all 3 of them for different reasons as well, because they're all different characters. Andrea is someone that needs that confidence. She can lose her head very, very quickly. She can lose that. Hello, you. And after the stone throw, her head really went down, and I managed to get backstage and just have a quick chat with her. And I've seen Andrea give up in that situation before, and she didn't. And I was super proud of her because she fought hard on that last event and pulled herself up the leaderboard, taking a podium in another huge comp, which is so good to see. The standard of the women, they can all beat each other. Different days.
And let's not forget Andrea and Donna are masters as well.
Something to consider. Bobby, I keep saying it, but I am super impressed with the way that Bobby has responded to working with me, because I am pretty brutal.
He's like a soldier, isn't he?
Oh, Bobby's like one of the best people to train. Honestly, if for some of my kind of more novice clients that are watching, some of the best guys ask the least questions. Yeah. Except for Mitch Hooper. But Mitch is a unique individual. But honestly, like, Bobby is just so hard working. Like, really one of the hardest working people I train, I believe. And he's really understood the concept of you need to be better. You don't need to necessarily be stronger. And we actually made him lose 20 pounds, and he's PB'd on strength events as well.
Yeah, which is amazing.
He's looking awesome. His fitness is better. He's just looking like a more complete athlete. And I think he's going to keep improving. And who knows what he's capable of. Like, he's extremely strong. And I think, he's just getting better all the time now as a complete athlete. And it's funny, I had another chat with one of my novices the other day, who I was trying to explain, he's at a phase, not Bobby, so this other guy is at a phase where we just need to get you stronger. Yeah. And he wants to compete all the time. I'm like, you just need to focus on getting stronger at the moment. You don't need to compete all the time. You need to get, that basic level strength up. So sometimes when you're at a different level, there's different things that you need to work on. And
Bobby never needed to get stronger, did he?
No. I mean, he has, but it's more about getting him better as a complete athlete. And that's what we're working on with Bobby. I've got a new lady that's just signed up, actually, who is super strong. But her moving events and things like that need to improve on. So with her, it's going to be more about fitness, improving conditioning, not necessarily like fitness, but the specific conditioning for strongman and strongwoman competitions.
B Zooms, thank you for the super chat. Are you guys coming to the Shore Classic this year? Almost definitely not, because later this year we want to buy a house. We're taking the children on a very, very expensive trip to Disney later in the year, and to go to Colorado would cost us a lot of money. So it's just, weighing things up, isn't it? But we will still cover it, of course, and we're still very excited about it. And
we'll do a watch along party, won't we?
Yeah, we'll have a watch party. Obviously not streaming it here. People will have to buy the stream, but anyone who does can join us and have a watch party.
Absolutely.
Then we did we do that last year?
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was fun. Hopefully, I think there's quite a few of you guys joined us, and it was great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, Ken's saying that Tamara very much has a ritual, which would be interrupted by the scraps.
I love her ritual.
I love it too. Do you know what I noticed as well? Watching some bits back, she did the same with the log. She put her foot under the log, and then her foot, and then
it's like a
Macarena
choreographed dance.
I love it. I think it's really cool. Fred and Rick don't have a gifting battle.
Thank you guys so much. We really, really appreciate the support you guys give us. I mean, you guys have been so generous tonight. It's really cool to chat with you all, and what a generous bunch you are. So thank you for joining us, and we do appreciate the support.
Can you see if you can find Alex's members chat, please, Loz? Members chat from Alex. Please ask Loz to read. Ben, thank you for the super chat. Excuse me. Love a big Loz and Magnus Samuelsson to host World's Strongest Man. That would be a cool.
Let me read Alex's.
Sorry. We'll come back to you, Ben.
How much do you think taking long breaks helps? Was that your comment, Alex? I'm guessing that's Alex's comment.
Yeah.
How much do I think?
Taking long breaks. Do you mean?
I personally don't think it helps.
No, there you go.
I think if anything, it just makes, I mean, for some athletes, you do need a bit of a break. So you certainly need a break at times. Like you can definitely compete too much and you need to kind of, but in that break, you kind of need to keep training. I think kind of having your level going right up like this and then coming down and then kind of coming back up. Yes, there's athletes that can get away with it. But I think for the majority, you're better off staying at this level and kind of progressing like this than going up and down.
Yeah.
I think going up and down fast massively increases the chance of injuring yourself. And obviously the rest of the guys that are still committing, they keep going up. Yeah. So it gets harder and harder to be at that top level. Like I can't see, from what I've seen so far, I can't see Tom winning worlds this year.
Damn.
If he was in the shape he was in last year,
he'd
without question be one of the favourites, especially when you look at the events. And I hope I'm wrong because I want to see him do well. But from what I've seen so far, understanding about his kind of issue he's got going on and the performance I saw at the Arnolds, I don't think he's going to be good enough to beat the likes of Novikov, Mitch Hooper, Brian, those type of athletes.
Because they're all stealing points from you, aren't they? The whole way through.
And I think this year is so competitive. Trey's.
There's no grip event in the final either. I think Trey's
going to be dangerous.
Yeah, really dangerous. So dangerous. Well done.
Marianne telling people to like that. Smash that like button. Don't like the like button. Just smash it instead.
World's strongest coach. What coach has the best results at Worlds and other comps?
Oh, there's lots of good coaches out there. There's so many good coaches.
Poundstone's coach as well, isn't he? So he's had some really good results.
Poundstone's awesome.
Yeah.
There's lots of
quite a few ex-athletes do coach. I can't be bothered to research more if I'm honest. Do you coach now?
Kazma's coaching now.
Yeah, Kaz coaches. Yeah, 3-time world's strongest man. Oh dear. Right, let's try and catch up a little bit. Fred, thank you so much for the super chat. Will World's Strongest Man ever get rid of the groups? Also, the ladies did great. Screw the jealous haters. Will they get rid of the groups?
They never used to have groups.
No, it was introduced in 94. Was it 94?
I don't know. I think time will tell. Like this year, there's going to be groups. We know that. I really couldn't say. I think World's Strongest Man have changed things so many times that it's hard to say. I'd never bet against things.
No.
I think they try different formats. And obviously for them, the most important thing is viewing figures. So what works well for people watching and being interested in the sport. So who knows?
The popularity of strongman's really grown in the last few years as well. So who's to say that it's not a complete overhaul at some point? We just don't know, do we? New sponsors become interested. Suddenly the budget's so much bigger. That could, promote change. We just don't know, to be honest. No. But as it stands, there's no indication of the groups going away. And the women did do great. And thankfully, obviously, they weren't watching the stream at the time. And our advice would be to never watch the stream and watch the comments. Just hide the comments. The comments
I've not even looked.
No, it's never worth watching. Astro, thank you so much for the super chat. Didn't really have a question, just wanted to show you.
Thank you very much, Astro.
Thank you. You two are literally the best, and I never miss a video. Hope to meet you all when I'm at the World's Strongest Man this year. There's also another competition we're not going to. I'm so sorry, but we're in South Carolina in like 2 weeks' time, aren't we? Hilton Head Island, if it's local to you, for Clash on the Coast. Yep. So and we're going to be back in the States later in the year, both for OSG and the Rogue Invitational. So we are coming back.
We just need World's Strongest Man to create a budget for us to go to Worlds. And then we'll be there.
One that suits my demands, apparently. Lost like Liz is just too expensive. I'm not going to sound cheap, am I? Loz coaches everyone. Loz coaches everyone. Last coach is the coach. Where are we?
I don't know. What are you looking at?
No, hold on. There we go. Jiminy Crickets, thank you for the super chat. Did you lock down Mark Henry for an interview?
We didn't, but we've made friends with him.
It wasn't my job.
We're a team.
Yeah, but
aren't we, guys? Me and Liz are a team.
He probably thinks he's this strange woman.
No. Like we all do. Who's this strange woman that sits next to this former strongman?
So when I was first introduced to the channel, so many people didn't realize we were married.
I know.
It's
quite funny.
like, who's the woman? Someone said, oh, I never forget. Oh, I reckon Loz is banging Liz.
How wrong they were.
So full of shit. Sorry, everyone. My filthy husband. There you go. Peter, thank you for the super chat. What's your opinion on controversy that was brought up on Ultimate Strongman regarding the ladies? Hope they continue promoting though. Ultimate Strongman.
So I haven't watched this. So apparently this week, I think the Ultimate Strongman ladies comp was on TV.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I might be wrong, but I've seen a few stories and stuff. And from what I hear, the production wasn't the best. They weren't showing a lot of the stuff. The honest answer is I haven't seen it, so I can't really give an honest opinion until I see it. And I don't want to speculate without watching. So I apologize for not being able to give you a bit more of a solid answer, but I haven't seen it, so I can't really say too much.
I'm going to have to look into it now. That sounds juicy. How is World's Strongest Man not flown you guys out yet? They just like to flirt with us. They're teasers.
Hopefully going to have a budget next year to afford Auntie Liz and Uncle Loz.
Where did that go? Top floor president Liz, I need a top floor presidential suite at the Hilton Lifetime Scientific. Never. I upgrade my own rooms. You can put me in the most basic room. I'll just upgrade it myself. Jiminy Crickets. I almost asked when we're all together, but didn't. I should have. Yeah. He almost asked whatever
Nicola,
he asked.
update us on what happened with the UKs, because I really don't know too much about what went on there.
Yeah. Nicola will have.
I have seen a few sort of stories, but I was so busy I wasn't really focused on what was happening. I've seen there's a few sort of things been going on this week.
Oh, apparently Lucy Underdown posted a great comment about it on her Instagram.
Okay,
we'll all run to Lucy Underdown's Instagram. Do you think records will continue to be broken with newer generations of athletes, or will they plateau out as we are nearing the limit, Lozzo?
I don't think we're nearing the limit. I think people are going to keep getting stronger and keep getting better for a few years yet, particularly the women's side of things as well. Yeah. You got to remember the women's sport is fairly new. I mean, the strength sport is it's not new, but the interest has grown so much in the last few years that I think we're going to see a real, certainly increase in the amount of incredible competitors, but I think we're going to see records broken. One of the reasons we'll see records broken is advancements in equipment. Mm-hmm. Like some of these bars that the guys use now are easier than some of the bars they've used in the past. You cannot argue that fact. Just look how much whip some of these kind of powerlifting bars have now.
Yeah, it's like kabuki bars.
You go and compare like an IPF deadlift on a stiff bar to some of these like different federations lifts. You can't really say it's the same lift.
No.
But I think we'll keep seeing things get better and across the board. And athletes are all good at different things. So we might not see someone break the deadlift record for a few years, but we've got athletes breaking records in different lifts. We might see people throwing further, people going faster with super yokes. We'll see the dumbbell record broken this year, I think, at Worlds. Obviously, we saw the behind the neck press. We've got the powerlifting records just keep getting broken all the time. So I think we'll keep seeing records broken for a while yet.
Yeah. I know you're joking, Elizabeth. It's fine. Don't worry. I'm not. It's fantastic that Giants Live have given the women their very own Brit show, but to bring more eyeballs and bums to the seats, do you think it would be better to pair them with a men's show? Probably.
I think it's nice for the women to have their own show.
I think also what's nice about Giants Live is that it's 3 or 4 hour evening out. It's a complete evening out, jam-packed with, action, entertainment, etc. It becomes a very long evening out if you're running 2 shows and like giving each that same attention and quality.
The thing with something like the Arnolds is you've got the expo going on.
Exactly.
So if you're not interested in watching the women's side, or you're not interested in watching the men's side, you can do other things. Whereas to have both, there are people out there that don't like watching the women or don't like watching the men, which we've said in other videos. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
What's not fine is to go online and kind of, say these horrible things about people.
Yeah.
So I have no issues with people not liking.
No, of course not. It's loads of sports I don't like.
But there's just no need for the negative comments that kind of come online. So that's not an issue. So I think it's nice for them to have their own, because the fans that are going to be there are genuinely who want to see the women compete.
Yeah.
And I think now there's so many more fans out there that enjoy watching the women's side of sport. We enjoy watching the women's side of sport.
We love it. We'll be there with bells on, won't we?
Absolutely.
Bells on.
Jamie asking if there'll be a 550 kilo deadlift in our lifetime. I wouldn't bet against it. Like, I don't think we'll see I don't think we'll see someone on a stiff bar deadlifting without straps that kind of weight.
No.
But with suits, advancements in suits, straps, the bars, it wouldn't surprise me if we see it.
Bit more insight here from Joe, saying the Ultimate Strongman show is being reshown without the errors this week, I believe. Okay. The TV company basically showed the ads over the show, so it cut out a lot, as far as I know. What on earth? Ooh.
That's interesting.
Juicy. Let's go and watch it.
I don't think I want to after what Joe said. No.
Is it UK's Strongest Woman from last year then?
Yeah.
Have they asked you both to host Match of the Day yet? I've been waiting by the phone. Nothing. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I have seen a few of the things.
If they want unbiased, they won't ask us. Not when it comes
if they want football experts, they won't ask us.
They certainly won't ask us, no.
Toby's in the house.
Rhiannon's put a post up about it as well, along the lines of them all receiving a message to say they couldn't have their own arena show, and then the poor production. Oh dear, we'll have a look.
And then Giants Live announced that they're doing
a Britain's Strongest Woman arena show. Ooh, good timing. Right, Toby, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey guys, resting up after a heavy session yesterday. I really want to see the safe yoke press return. Yes, I love that event. I love it as a test for raw pressing power. Do you think you liked it because you were good at it though, Loz?
Yes.
Do you know what? I've accidentally skipped over a super chat from Fernando. I'm so sorry. But yeah, would love to see the safe lift back.
Yeah, I enjoy the safe lift.
They had it at Britain's a few years ago, maybe 2015, 16, something like that. That was a good one.
Yeah. Rick Dent is gifting memberships to people. Thank you very much.
That's very kind. Thank you, Rick. From Fernando, thanks for the great content. I'm excited for the Strongman Champions League World's Strongest Latino in July. Hope it can turn into something like Europe's Strongest Man.
That'll be really cool.
That will be cool.
It's good to see these different regions kind of, athletes being shown. I think there's a lot of new faces there that we're not so familiar with. So it should be really good.
And that's the fun thing about Strongman Champions League. They do all sorts of things like the World Truck Pulling Championships, the World Record Breakers. They do lots of different fun shows. It's just lots of people are like, how do I watch it? I'm none the wiser.
Marcel told us.
He did, but
it's not it's easy, but you need to know where to look.
Yeah. It's these sort of slightly more obscure routes in. They're always fun shows, aren't they? And we're looking forward to going to the Gloucester one this year.
Yeah.
Speaking of yoke, Loz, you look like you're moving well again.
Yeah, I had a good session yesterday. I did some comp weight events for Britain's Strongest Masters, and the other athletes are going to be in trouble. It was a good confidence boost I didn't expect to be this kind of shape this quickly. So I'm pretty pleased with how training's going.
Fred, a funny one. At the Arnold's, I go to my seat and find it was stolen by a beautiful blonde. Well, at least she only stole the floor in front of my seat. It was me. He came and blocked us up right by me. I was like, Fred, he's like, this is actually my seat. I was like, I was trying to film Olga doing the stone and realized I was in totally the wrong place anyway. But that record breaker, tacular stone.
That's difficult.
Very impressed with Jordan Mulligan, though.
Yeah, did you guys see Jordan on the stone? That was unbelievable.
Did you get 2 reps?
Did you get 2 or 3?
2 or 3. I think he got 3, actually. I can't remember
now.
Was really I'm sat right there, but I can't remember. He was really good, though.
I'll let you answer this one.
Is Colin as odd in real life as he comes across on streams? As much as I know he's done a lot for the sport, I just get bad vibes. Colin is as odd.
He's a very unique individual, but he's a good person.
Yeah, he is. He's been accused of so much, and
he never defends himself.
I don't know why.
Yeah, he just doesn't like going on social media. But
no,
and he is. Colin's always fun to interview because you never know where you're going to go.
Oh, he's crazy.
He'd make a good politician.
Would he?
Well, he doesn't answer. Like he doesn't give you a straight answer.
Out of him. Yeah,
but he's someone that genuinely cares,
yeah.
and he wants the sport to get bigger and better.
He cares about the sport and the athletes, and yeah, like Colin's just full of jokes. And what you see though is pretty much what you get. I think it just takes a long time to really understand Colin.
He's like some kind of crazy genius.
Yeah, yeah.
And some of his ideas are a bit crazy,
bit too crazy, yeah.
But some of his ideas are very good as well.
Yeah,
and he's always interesting to chat to because you never know what's going on
And he's been around the sport since he was a teenager. He just knows everything that, well, maybe even younger actually, as a child. There's pictures of him as a child with Jean-Paul. So
and he was a great athlete in himself. He was a decent strongman.
He stepped in once at Worlds, didn't he?
I've seen it. Like, he competed at Britain's Strongest Man a few times, and he was in the British bobsleigh team. So he's got an interesting background.
Yeah, but we do like Colin. Colin's he's crazy, but we like him. Someone was asking, when are you doing a powerlifting? There we go. When are you doing a powerlifting?
I'm doing a push-pull event in April. So April the 8th or 9th?
9th. Sunday the 9th, yeah.
April the 9th in Manchester. So just bench and deadlift. My strength is just slowly kind of creeping up. I'm hoping to sort of bench around 200, 210 and deadlift 350, 360. I'm not going to try to push too hard. And then I've got the British Masters on the 27th of May, which is in Gloucester Keys, and tickets are available for that. So make sure you guys get booked in to come see me. For those that are coming, I will stay and meet everyone after. Like, once the comp's done, I'm happy to stay as long as necessary to meet any fans that come and watch. So I'll put that out there now. If you're queuing up and you want to see me, you will get the chance. And then I'm going to compete in the World Masters in December. And by the World Masters, I want to be in good shape. That's my plan, is to push Rauno if he's coming.
Come on, Rauno, you have to come.
Not on the deadlift, but everything else.
Everything else, yeah. I'm going
to make sure that the events are Farmer's Walk, Hercules Hold, bodyweight hang for time.
Bodyweight hang for time.
No deadlift. I have no power in this, by the way. I don't choose the events.
I was going to say,
it's going to be all my worst events.
What if, Lynn throws in a human flag?
Then I'm screwed.
I asked Zydrunas at the Arnold's if he'll do it, and he said that he's getting some treatment in May, so he probably won't be recovered in time. And I was like, they pushed it to December. He was like, oh, yes, maybe I do. And I said, it would be nice to have the defending champion and, you and Zydrunas compete against each other again, because you guys had some great battles, didn't you? Great for Zydrunas.
I beat Zydrunas a few times, but after his prime.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not going to go claiming.
But now it's after both of your primes. It's a bit more evenly matched. Who knows what could happen? Oh dear. Where are we? There's a members chat from Leighton Bala. Can you see if you can find it, please? I'll say. Oh yeah, it was three reps. Mark saying that he felt gutted for Jordan when Trey stepped up and broke the record. Do you know what? I think I don't think Jordan cared about having the record at all. He was just so thrilled. It's a personal challenge, isn't it?
Yeah. And
not many people can beat Trey Mitchell when it comes to stones. I was surprised Trey went for that 5th stone, but I guess he's just putting on a show, isn't he?
Yeah.
Because he could have broken it easier next year. You looking for something, Loz?
No. So who was it I was looking for? Leighton?
Yes.
He's a 3-month member milestone. Superb 3 months. I'm glad you are happy to be a member, Leighton.
Thank you very much. There you go. I remember watching Jordan when he first came out to Invergordon a few years ago, and he could barely lift a sandbag. His dedication to stones is truly impressive for someone who's not a strength athlete.
His stone lifting is unbelievable.
So impressive, yeah.
We were really impressed.
Yeah, we were like, whoa, go Jordan. Oh, Miss DS turning up late, but never better late than never. Notice now 2 new t-shirts on Loz. Has he had his annual clothing allowance?
I get sent t-shirts all the time.
Loz can have whatever he wants. He just doesn't like shopping for things.
Yeah, I don't spend any money. Liz and the kids spend it all.
There you go. Someone's got it. Oh dear. Oh, it's jumping around. Yeah, Uncle Loz versus Papa Rauno. People want to see it. Jamie, Loz, what could you lift when you had just started training? It's hard to get an idea of how genetically gifted some top guys are. Did you stroll in at 15 years of age and pull 200 and drop the mic?
I didn't start training until I was 21, and I was naturally very, very strong. I had a rugby background, so I think the first time I really tried was the first time I competed. So I'd been in a gym and someone said, there's 100 kilos, do 8 reps with it on deadlift. So I did that. And, I was just doing what I was told when I first joined the gym. But 5-6 months after joining a gym, I entered a competition. And there was a deadlift for reps with 220 kilos. And the most I pulled in the gym up to that point of training for 5 months was 230 kilos for one. And in the competition where we did 220 for reps, I did 14 reps and realized, okay, I hadn't been working as hard as I should have. So I would say pretty much 95% of the top guys are genetic freaks.
Yeah.
It's something that's hard to accept for a lot of people, but the top guys do have superior genetics for strength. It's, you can get strong over time and you can certainly progress, but you look at guys like Mitch Hooper, Tom Stoltman, Brian Shaw, Thor Bjornsson, Terry Hollands, they're all freaks of nature. They really are, But likewise, there's freaks of nature in other sports. And then there's freaks of nature out there that never achieve anything as well because they're not willing to work hard. You need to be a freak of nature and work hard. And that's when you really can become something special. What are you doing?
Gunterm, asking if we're going to be in Myrtle Beach. Unfortunately, we're not, but we are in South Carolina in a couple of weeks. From the 22nd to the 27th of March, we will be in Hilton Head Island for Clash on the Coast. So if it's not too far, feel very welcome to come along. Come say hello. We're at the Beach House Resort, I think.
Cool.
We shouldn't give away our location. Oh, wow.
We'll get a drink. We're going to have fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Come sit by the pool. The food's great. Love the food in South Carolina.
Is it the same place we were last year or something different?
It is. No, it's the same place. Yeah, I'm positive. I know. Come on. I know the travel deets. I very rarely get things wrong. Although when we were flying back from Australia, I thought we were flying to Singapore. And I couldn't find our flight anywhere on the board at the airport, but it turns out we're flying to Hong Kong.
Michael Jordan was awesome. He was so good to watch.
And he's a vegan.
He is. There you go. You can be a vegan and you can be strong.
Remember the 6 times you beat Thor in his prime? Yeah, good times.
I'll never forget those times.
I'm excited.
I'll never stop reminding you all.
I'm exciting the American hot dog. Thank you so much. Sorry. Couldn't resist.
Toby's coming to see me in Gloucester. Good man, Toby. We need to get a training session in soon as well, buddy.
Tickets for May for Britain's Strongest Masters. It's only down the road. Is it the same place as it was last year?
It's at the Keys. I don't know that it's in the exact same location.
Okay.
But it is at Gloucester Keys.
We'll find it.
Yeah, we'll find it.
In this new house purchase, will there be a dedicated recording studio? 100%. I don't want much. Well, I do want much, but one stipulation is it has to have a room that we can just use as a studio.
Yeah, one of the things we want it to be good for work.
Yes, do like this, set it up properly, studio vibe, and just be able to jump in at any time with it all set up.
Where we are right now is in our living room, and it's not the biggest room in the world.
No, well, it's just having to jiggle things around as well, and not having somewhere where we can shut the kids off. And that sounds awful, but this is a shared space. The damn cat, she'll never be allowed in the studio. Maybe sometimes.
Isn't the Strongman League in Gloucester May? No, the Strongman Champions League is July.
Yeah.
And there's also a qualifier for that in June.
Christ, I don't know. Yeah, there's so much going on.
There's a lot going on. Unbreakable Promotions are doing a lot of those shows. They posted earlier with the schedule, and they've also posted it up. I shared it on my Instagram, actually, their schedule for this year.
Is Mitchell Hooper a freak of the laboratory? He's not human.
He is a freak, that's for sure.
What's incredible is a couple of years ago, he was doing marathons.
He's just one of those really freaky athletes. But a lot of the top guys are. You look at the top athletes, and I mean this across in lots of sports, they can transition to different things, and they would have been good at a lot of things if they dedicated themselves to it.
Yeah.
And Mitch is one of those guys. He's just
course.
It's weird. Like, it's very rare you have that much confidence in an athlete. Like, I was talking to Harry about this, and John Jones, for instance, in the UFC, you just know he's going to perform.
Yeah.
And Mitch is a bit like that. Like, when you watch Andrea, you're nervous for her.
Yeah.
Because you think she could mess it up. You
know?
I don't feel like that watching Mitch. You kind of just think, all right, he's going to do it.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because it's very rare that you're like that with someone. I wasn't like that myself. Like, I know I could on a good day, but you'd still be nervous.
I think a lot of my nerves, though, are dependent on how I think the person will feel if it goes wrong. And I know Andrea would be upset. I always knew you'd be upset if it went wrong. And that's where my nerves used to come in. Like, I don't get that nervous. I don't get nervous at all watching Mitch. Before the timber carry,
it's just like, I
said to him, you better fucking win this now or you're a dick. That was my motivation.
That was your coaching for me.
Well, it was his to lose, wasn't it? I am a good coach.
Yeah, but you kind of like, you look at the frame count, you're like, okay, and this is how I feel about Mitch going to Worlds. I think Mitch can definitely win Worlds. I think other guys can beat him. Yeah, absolutely. But they're going to have to perform.
Yeah,
and they're capable. Really Brian Shaw's capable. Kiliashkovsky's capable. Trey Mitchell's capable, etc. Tom Stoltman's capable. But they're not going to be able to just walk in and do it. They're going to have to perform, because he will make them.
And it would be a very different Mitch 2023 at Worlds compared to Mitch 2022 when it was his first international competition.
We had his first session on fingers today.
Yeah.
And I think he's already capable of doing all 5. We've got to tidy up technique, but I think he's already capable of doing all 5 fingers. I think Brian Shaw is going to be the favorite on the fingers, because he's got that experience of when it was in comps all the time, and he's got a set made up. It's not been used as many times recently, but there was a time they were doing fingers in every single World's Strongest Man. So he and Brian was in that era with him and Zydrunas just dominating it.
Ben Ash saying, having done lots of audio work, it's amazing the difference having a proper studio space can make. Honestly, I'm going to need a lot of professional help. So if you ever see posts about us moving, someone help me. I'll be like,
Mitch does get nervous and he does feel pressure. So he is normal. I mean, he's a bit of a freak, but he is still human.
He's still human.
And he feels emotions and everything else that go along with that. But he's just got this ability to back up that. He's got confidence in his ability, I think, is probably the best way of putting it. He knows, he's very realistic about what he can and can't do.
Yeah.
And we kind of always, with every comp, we've got like perfect scenario, worst case scenario. And with Mitch, worst case scenario, still he's a threat. Yeah. So, when he can really perform, like at the Arnolds, there was no best case. He didn't win an event.
No. But
we knew he'd be hard to beat. And that was the kind of game plan, is right, just stay on Trey's back all the time. Keep putting the pressure on. Because, with Trey and, with Kiliashkovsky, they're going to go up and down a little bit on certain events. It was just keep that pressure on, keep performing, keep adding points.
Right, let's do the last few comments then, because tomorrow we have a big, long day of filming and editing the Meet the Athlete series for this year's World's Strongest Man. And we need our beauty sleep because it is a school night. If Mateus is 100% and confident of his triceps, look out, Myrtle Beach. Ah, man. It's going to be 2019 was the last time he competed at Worlds. It's been such a long time. He was second place, yeah. He's the second place linear champion. It'll be great to see Mateus back at Worlds. He's so popular as well. It's funny, isn't it? Because he's had such a long time off, but his popularity just grows and grows, even when he doesn't do anything.
I think everyone loves him as well, because we all have expected him to win these big major titles. It's not quite happened yet.
I think we all see a bit of ourselves in him as well, don't we? With the sort of self-doubt and the self. Do you know what I mean? He's not a overly confident person, and he's very endearing.
Which is amazing because he's so talented.
Yeah, considering how amazing he is. Jiminy Crickets, I think I'm less nervous for Mitch because I feel like if he didn't win, it would disappoint me more than him. He has a very healthy relationship with competition. And that's exactly it. He does have a healthy relationship with it. It's not like, you're not going to worry about his mental state if he doesn't win.
Me as a competitor was very different to Mitch.
Oh.
Like, Strongman was absolutely all I cared about.
But that's almost unhealthy.
It was. And I look back and I sort of sometimes wish I wasn't like that.
Yeah.
But if you can't regret the things you do, I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it, but it meant everything to me.
Yeah.
I wasn't smart enough to think about other things.
Yeah.
And, focus on business and focus on setting up my future. It was literally, I wanted to be the best strongman in the world, and it's all I
Yeah.
cared about. And, you know, I think probably people see the passion I have for strongman now,
Yeah.
and I'm very lucky now to still be involved.
And I think maybe sometimes that's why part of the reason Mitch gets a bit of a hard time, because that's what people want, don't they? And
I think that's
in
why
a
people
champion.
love Kilishkovsky.
Yeah,
Because
because
he's been disappointed
well,
so many times. You imagine if he won the Arnolds or he won Worlds, you know it would mean everything to him.
Yeah.
There's nothing else like. But that doesn't mean it's not important to Mitch as well.
No.
But it's just different characters.
Yeah.
And I guess me and Kilishkovsky are more of those that we kind of got close and have missed out. And then when you finally kind of achieve those big things, it means so much.
Because it took such a long time.
And then you become the underdog, haven't you? So people are supporting you.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're just winning everything, people are, oh, this guy's just good. You know, he's just going to win. And you kind of start expecting them to win. So then there's that kind of pressure of, if I don't win now, I've underperformed.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Brian Shaw's been in that position for a number of years where I've given
the
Brian
expectations are so high.
Brian, you kind of have up like at this level. So if he performs here, it's like you did bad.
Yeah, I know. It's terrible, isn't it? It's like you can't win at that point.
Shall we call it a day? No more. I'll quickly check on here, but I think that's all the members and super chats.
Strange question. Would it be looked down upon to bring a stained laminated piece of square-shaped wood for athletes to sign? Not at all. They'll sign anything. We've signed some weird things.
Yeah, we've signed all sorts of weird things.
Yeah.
Underwear.
I haven't signed underwear.
I have.
I've signed shoes, like Converse shoes.
Yeah.
My name on one, your name on the other.
Signed them while the person was wearing them.
Yeah, I had to lie on the floor. I did it though.
You did. You're a very good sport.
I am a good sport.
I made them lift their foot up, but you know.
You would. He was really tall.
Well, I'm not going to get on the floor. What am I? I'm a strong man, for crying out loud. I don't get down on the floor.
Mash Loz's button. Where are we? Mitchell, thank you so much for the super chat. Find a quarter live stream. Oh, and we're signing off. So great to meet you both at the Australia's Strongest International in Australia. Really motivated.
Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it.
Loved being there, didn't we?
We did.
Take me back to Oz and the warm weather, and the beaches and the food and all of it.
Auntie Liz wants to go back to Australia.
I do. I could settle down in Australia, I think.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's a bit of me.
Right, guys, we will call it there. Thank you very much, as always, for joining us. We've had lots of fun chatting to you. Hope you have an amazing week. Lots of exciting things happening in Strongman. Stay tuned for the Meet the Athlete series.
Yes, starting this week.
Yeah, Auntie Liz is going to be busy again.
We'll also have our Europe's predictions. We'll be bringing you content from Clash on the Coast and all the fun stuff leading up to World's Strongest Man as well. So very busy few weeks.
Take care, guys. We will catch you soon.
Bye. Smile and wave.